Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today I have a very good video for all y'all, something that a lot of you enjoyed, which is yet another election prediction video between Kamala Harris and Donald Trump. And I'd just like to apologize for not uploading my video on time last time because I'm in another country right now and the Wi-Fi is not that good, so it took quite a while to actually upload it. It took me multiple tries, but definitely do check that video out after you watch this one. And without further ado, let's get straight into it. So the way I'm going to be doing this is essentially I'm going to be looking at 3 different polls, and I don't really need to go over every single state individually because that doesn't make any sense. We already know certain states that are solid red or solid blue, so I'll just put those aside. But I will be looking at multiple polls to make sure that my swing state predictions are accurate and make sense, and that they aren't just being, I'm not just getting them out of nowhere. So let's already start off with some of the solid blue states: Washington, Oregon, California. We got New Mexico. We got Colorado. Nothing else here that's solid blue. Minnesota is probably going to be solid blue now, since Tim Walz was chosen as a VP pick. Illinois for sure. New York. Maine, and then all the northeastern states, we already know that they're pretty much locked in for Democrats, including New Hampshire. I know there's some questions about New Hampshire maybe going red, but that's not going to happen. Connecticut, New Jersey, Delaware, Maryland, DC, and one of these main districts is also probably going to go red. Hawaii is also another blue one. And then one of the Nebraska congressional districts does go blue. So we have one there. We have Virginia. I'll keep North Carolina out of it for now because we're not really sure. I'll explain that in a second, but I do kind of have like my view of what will happen in North Carolina. But we'll first go over the Republican solid states. So Idaho, Montana, Wyoming, Utah, South Dakota, North Dakota, obviously, Nebraska, Kansas, Oklahoma, Texas, Mississippi, Louisiana, Alabama, Georgia, Florida, Arkansas, Missouri, Iowa, Indiana, Ohio, Kentucky, West Virginia, that's another one, South Carolina, Tennessee, and that is pretty much it. Oh, Alaska as well, can't forget that. So that's pretty much it in terms of solid red, solid blue. So already right there, that's like way more than half of the election. But ultimately, elections are not decided by all states. It usually comes down to select few swing states, which tend to be the same ones in most elections. So this year it is Nevada, Arizona, Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, and maybe North Carolina, which honestly I don't really think North Carolina will be a swing state. But with that being said, we'll go over those numbers just in case so that everybody understands that I don't have any agenda here. I don't have any bias. I'm just showing you guys the facts based on what we have available to us. So without further ado, let's get into the polls. We'll start off with Arizona because I know a lot of people have been asking about Arizona. And there seems to be some confusion about Arizona, so let's just take a look at this one by 538. So again, this indicates that it is actually Republican leaning. So if there's a blue one next to it, then it would mean Democrat leaning. But it says partisan pollster for the Republican Party, so obviously it's going to have some sort of bias. Now, I don't know why they would, what is this? Oh, Senate. Yeah, okay, that's different. Harris in a high ground poll is up by 3, and in this one, it's Trump up 1. In a poll by The Telegraph, it's Harris plus 1, so 44 to 43. And you just go down the list, and you look at these other ones. These were from the last 2 weeks. Again, Harris up, Harris up. The lead seems to be closing in, but we can see for sure that Harris is sort of winning against Trump in most cases. But if we look at this one, oh, this one does not actually have Arizona. Okay, that's okay. The New York Times one does not have Arizona. That's okay. We can take a look at this one. So this is by Real Clear Polling, and they have a good one here, and their result is a bit different than the other ones. They actually think it's going to be Trump plus 0.8. If you average it out, if you average the Harris plus 4, which would be 2 plus 2, that's 4, and then Trump plus 8. But if you average it out, then it's plus 0.8. So really close, 47.8 to 47. Again, this is one of those states which is extremely close, and nobody could really tell what's going to happen. With that being said, the way the tide has shifted significantly, and the fact that Joe Biden won in 2020, in my view, and according to these polls, it wouldn't be completely far off to assume that Democrats will win Arizona in the upcoming election. And I know there's going to be a lot of people in the comments saying that they don't agree with that necessarily, but look, my predictions do change with time, obviously. But this is just based on the current polling and the way the trends have been going in terms of Arizona. So I think it is pretty fair to say that Arizona will probably go Democrat as it stands right now. Obviously, things can change. Obviously, she may say something dumb, or Trump may make large gains, or may focus more on Arizona than other states. So there's a lot of room for things to happen and change the course. But as it stands right now, Arizona is probably going to go to Kamala Harris. If we look at the next one, we can look at Nevada. Again, I don't know why this one doesn't have Nevada. It's kind of weird. So if we look at Nevada here in the 538 poll, there you go. It's a bit different. So Trump is mostly winning in Nevada compared to Harris, and he seems to have a more comfortable lead than Harris had in Arizona. So he's leading plus 3, plus 3, plus 5, plus 1. I don't see a single poll that says Harris is leading. There's one that says even. Actually, no, never mind. There is one that says Harris plus 2, but that was also almost 3 weeks ago. So it's quite a long time ago. But if we're looking at it from this perspective, we definitely do see that Trump is winning in Arizona or in Nevada way more than he is in Arizona, because Arizona is a lot more tight than Nevada is. We could take a look at this other poll by Real Clear Polling and try checking what's going on. So again, Nevada is one of those states where we don't really expect it to be a battleground state usually, but I mean, it is 6 electoral votes, so it's not too much, but it is pretty important because in such a close race, it does really make a difference. Now, if we look at this poll, yeah, so Trump is up 2.5%, so that's pretty in line with everything else. I do think, with that being said, that's pretty fair to assume that Nevada will go to Republicans based on all the information that is available to us. We can then move on to Wisconsin, which is actually available on this New York Times one. So let's take a look at Wisconsin, which again is another swing state that is pretty important to both parties. Usually does go to Democrats. Would be kind of surprised if it did go to Republicans, but okay, I don't know why it's not loading. It's fine. We'll take a look at this one. So Wisconsin, if we take a look at it, yeah, so this is, I think these polls are kind of skewed. They're a bit off. And, I mean, Harris plus 9, Harris plus 6, plus 7, plus 4, plus 3. I mean, these are ridiculous numbers. These are numbers that are not usually seen for swing states. So I think there definitely is an element of error there. But if you look at the New York Times one, which is, by the way, New York Times is pretty left-leaning for the majority of their reporting, but if you look at theirs, it's a lot closer. I mean, if you look at this right here, if this was July 24th, right when Joe Biden dropped out, 49% to 45%. But within one day, it ended up becoming a tie. So these polls, and then again, it stayed pretty pretty much around the same range, and then Harris sort of overtook Trump. I could expect this, or you guys could expect this definitely to go a bit the same way. So maybe 52% Harris, maybe 46% Trump. But with that being said, we can now look at this last poll. Just because I just want to confirm my choice, which I think is another choice that is pretty clear. Yeah, so these ones say Harris plus 1.2, which again is a comfortable lead in a swing state, I would say. But, I mean, it's not really in line with the plus 9 that we saw here, or the plus 7s or the plus 6s. So it's probably really around like a plus 3 or plus 4 if we're really looking at it that way. With that being said, Wisconsin is going blue. Based on every single poll that we've looked at, it's been pretty clear that Harris is going to win it. So Wisconsin is definitely going blue. Michigan, I'll get to that in a second. I want to touch base on North Carolina because I think that's one that many people have questions about. And it's even a state that I'm kind of confused about what's going on there exactly. It seems to be changing every day. So North Carolina, at first, if you asked me 3 weeks ago, would North Carolina ever go blue? I would say absolutely not, because Joe Biden hadn't dropped out, and there's a lot of stuff going on in the Democrat Party. It was very chaotic for them, and it didn't really go the way that they expected to go. But now Trump's lead is actually getting smaller. So we can see here it's pretty much Trump plus 1.5 if you include all the polls. But then again, we have one that shows Harris up plus 2. Other ones show that Trump is up against Harris, but that's still surprising compared to what we saw before. And then we could take a look at where is North Carolina? Okay, so they don't have North Carolina again. I don't know why, but we could definitely take a look at the 538 ones. It's obviously very close between Trump and Harris in North Carolina. Yeah, so this is even Trump plus 4, Trump plus 3, plus 3. Like, these are really weird numbers if you really look at it that way. It doesn't really make any sense. But I do think that since there is a lot of excitement in the Democratic Party, and that it has been a complete turnaround from where they were a few months ago, honestly, even a few weeks ago, actually, the tide seems to be turning, and Republicans are slowly losing North Carolina, which they wouldn't want, obviously. So I will actually give North Carolina two Democrats. It's kind of a shocker. I know many people didn't really expect it, but I just don't see how Republicans can come back and turn the tide with the current way that Trump is going about this. He's not being smart about the way he's doing this this campaign around the country. He's not being smart about it. And J.D. Vance, obviously, we know that he hasn't really taken off as much as Trump would have expected or would have wanted. So that could definitely be hurting him in the polls. In terms of favorability, it definitely is, because J.D. Vance is one of the least popular VP picks of all time. But regardless, let's look at Pennsylvania. So Pennsylvania is straight across. So if we look at August 7th, that was the last time that Trump was leading in a poll in Pennsylvania. From August 8th onwards, which was only about 3 days or 4 days, every single poll has come out and showed Harris on top. And it's been a pretty comfortable amount, 3-4 points, which is pretty solid. If we look here, now this one's weird. It's tied, so that's shocking. Okay, I'm getting an ad now, so forget that. And then if we look at this one, so this one's weird too. It says Trump up plus 0.2, which probably is because of the shooting that occurred in Pennsylvania in Butler County. So that could definitely be a reason why that happened. Now, if you look at where Biden and Trump were, the day that Biden withdrew, so the 21st, July 21st of 2024, it was almost a 4-point lead. Now it's been cut down to 0.8. No, 0.2 actually. 0.2%. And it doesn't seem to be changing in any way. I mean, we definitely see a spike here for Trump. For whatever reason. I don't really know why that happened. If you look at the shooting, I don't remember what day it was exactly, but it was sometime around here. He didn't really get much of a spike, which is surprising. So, it's definitely not going well for Trump. Definitely isn't going the way he expected it to. Pennsylvania will go blue according to my prediction. And that gives Democrats the presidency quite easily. I'll just go over Michigan really quickly because it's pretty important to cover Michigan. Now, by the way, I know a lot of people were asking me, do you really think that all 3 Rust Belt states will go to Democrats? And originally I said no, because I didn't really, all 3 Rust Belt swing states, rather. Are they going to go Democrat? I said no, I don't think so. I think it's very unlikely. But Michigan would tell us quite a different story in the sense that Harris is now pretty much destroying Trump in every single poll on 530, according to 538. I don't have access to New York Times one, so that's kind of weird. But if we look at this one, Michigan, yeah, it's starting to become pretty dangerous for Trump. If we look right here, this was 1 week after Biden resigned, dropped out. It was literally neck and neck. And ever since then, so this has been, 18 days, completely different story. I mean, Trump has fallen and Harris has risen. Doesn't seem to be even close at this point. It's probably going to be a pretty solid blue state for Democrats. It'll be pretty easy for them to win it unless they really mess it up somehow. And obviously, Harris has been appealing to the Arab voters in the Michigan area, and especially on the issue of Palestine and Israel. So it definitely does help her out a lot in her campaign. And she also has Tim Walz, who is rather friendly on that issue to the Arab population. So she did cater to that base in that sense. And that really does help her a lot because she wins Michigan and she will win the presidency by a pretty comfortable amount, which is about 27 extra electoral votes that she needed, which is not what I originally predicted. So then again, I mean, the 3 Rust Belt states are going to Harris in this prediction. North Carolina as well. Nevada is going to be lost. That's the one state. Arizona is going to be 1. And yeah, for now, that's pretty much it in terms of swing states. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So let me know what you guys think. I know that many people are going to hate this video and are going to agree with my perspective. But let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. And just let me know if you would like to see something similar to this again. So would you like to see a 5th prediction video? And I hope you guys enjoyed it. Drop a like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.